Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Holy cow. It seems like I was just hanging out with you guys just last night. Oh, wait. No, I actually was, but we are back. This is a late night with the Davey before dark. So last night we did like a late night with the Davey Tuesday edition. Just why the heck not? Because tonight I will be on Killjoy Jake's channel at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm very excited to jump on over with Jake and talk about Scream 7 theories. So, you know, we're going to be talking our feelings and our inklings on Scream 7 and what may come. You know, I had some things that I wanted to see from the film. I put out a video here on the channel about the 5 things I wanted to see from Scream. And then the trailer dropped and I was like, oh, well, now I've got different ideas as to what may happen. So we'll be jumping in there talking about our theory talk. So no late night tonight. But hey, if you're out on the other side of the pond, if you're out in the UK, or maybe you're in the other hemisphere, maybe you're out in like Australia or New Zealand, I think this is like a late night. It's late night-ish for UK people. I can never seem to, I think if you're in Australia, it's tomorrow, actually. It's friggin' crazy that way. But thank you guys so very much for joining me here in the middle of a day on a Wednesday. It is 1:10 p.m. out here in the desert, out in Arizona, and still on rain watch. We're on flood alert, although it doesn't really take much for flooding in the desert. Just after 3 p.m. out on the East Coast. It is November 19th, 2025. And yeah, guys, today we're going to be continuing our community poll talk. Okay, so I've been putting out a whole bunch of polls there on the community tab on the channel. Last night we covered horror movies through the decades. You know, four of the top movies from each decade, 4 of the top horror movies from each decade. And then I put out a whole bunch of polls about remakes, horror remakes throughout the decades. And then even after that, I was like, okay, well, which sequels or reboots are the favorites of some of these franchises? You know, some of the franchises, maybe those reboots didn't quite crack the top 4 of a decade, but they would belong within each franchise. So this is turning into a series. I think the sequels are going to have to be, that's going to have to be 2 different live streams. So, but that's tomorrow. We're going to jump on that sequel talk. Today, we are talking horror remakes throughout the decades. This one isn't going to be as long as last night's because there's not as much ground to cover, but nonetheless, I am still very much looking forward to it. What we're going to do here is we're just going to take a look at the actual polls, the results, how many votes, all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about each one of these movies. And then every time I bring up one of these polls, we are going to basically do a 50-50 with the live audience. So you guys can see there in the chat right now, there is a live poll right now. What is the best horror remake of the 80s? And The Thing is killing it. Not a surprise to me. Whenever John Carpenter's something is up there for you guys really eat that up. And I can't blame you. And I'm totally right there with you. For those of you who weren't here last night and missed my whole kind of spiel, this has been really insightful and enlightening to me. It's been really cool because I get to know a lot of you folks in the live chat, you guys that are, you know, show up to every single live stream or you show up to most of the live streams. I get a pretty good idea of what movies you like, actors, directors, all that kind of stuff. We know each other pretty well, but it's a much larger community than the 30-ish people that are usually here for live streams. So these polls have been a really cool way for me to just kind of get to know everybody else, the folks that are watching the replays, the folks that are just watching the pre-recorded videos, or maybe just the lurkers out there. Maybe they're watching live, but they don't want to jump into the chat. It's been really cool getting to know you guys on a little bit of a deeper level, getting that engagement, again, sharing the space and the platform and the podium with you all. I really love it. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why I'm here it is the community part, right? So, you know, like I say all the time, I'm here to kind of MC and to sort of like host the event, but really this is a space for all of us. So it's really cool to get to know you guys on a little bit of a deeper level. Thank you so very much for kicking it with me. Before I get ahead of myself, I want to remind you guys, whether you're watching live or you're watching after the fact, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell, make sure you don't miss any of these live streams or community polls or pre-recorded videos that are dropping, because I'm dropping more pre-recorded videos lately than I have been. So keep an eye out for more of that kind of content. And if you're watching after the fact, go ahead and hit that hype button. It's a really cool way to you know, another free way you can support the channel. So, and then just one more thing before I jump in and say what's up to everybody and we start talking. I do have a super chat goal. It's totally silly. We reached an awesome goal yesterday. We're going to be hosting a Jack Frost 2 double feature watch party on Discord in December. So keep an eye out for that. Haven't scheduled it yet. I want to get together with Erica and plan that one out over there. So just keep an eye out for that one. And then the super chat goal today, if we get 5 super chats of $4.99 or more, I'll straight up go live on my phone on Thanksgiving and just see if I can, you know, in a nice way, make some people feel uncomfortable. I'll be really sweet about it. It'll just be like, what are you doing? I'll be like, well, the people spoke. They paid me money to do this, and I'm just a whore at the end of the day. So what can you do, folks? But I'm going to jump in, say what's up to everybody, and then we're going to get going on having a chat about these movies. I think we've just got 5 slides here. No, 6 slides, and then I've got a fun one here for you guys that I just couldn't resist because yesterday I had so much fun with it. So I'm going to jump in, say what's up to everybody, and then we will get going. Holy cow, you guys are flying through the chat. This is amazing. You all are so incredible. Thank you so much. Shout out to the Patreon members and the channel members. We gained a few members last night, and shout out to the Death Squad mods as well for keeping everything clean. We got Ashton Luck in the house. What's happening? We got Montrese says, let's go, with a crown. Ooh, crowned already. I'm a new subscriber, bro. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Death Squad. I hope you're still here and that I didn't keep you waiting too long, Montrese. Yeah, man, welcome on in. This is a great community. So even if you're not jazzed on me, you should be jazzed on everyone else that's hanging out in the chat for sure. We got Chester Franklin Jr. What's happening, Chester? Lamontre is kicking it with us. How you doing, Lamontre? Jamie Hart, the OG Death Squad mod, our mama mod, and a YouTube channel member. How you doing, Jamie? So great to see you here. We got Brooke Scarlett, the lovely Miss Brooke Scarlett, another one of our channel members and Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Brooke? Little Brookie Brooke. Who else do we got? We got MAGA Cat kicking it with us. What's happening, MAGA? How you doing, buddy? Says, what's up, freaks? Yep, that's us. We are the freaks. We truly are. We got Gory Tiger in the house. How you doing, Gory? So good to see you. Brett from Good Real Hunting saying, unfortunately at work, but wanted to say, hey, everyone, and have a great stream, Davey. Thank you so much, Brett. One of our channel members and Death Squad mods as well. Ooh, Jamie Hart changed her picture. Bored with the old one. Well, that is adorable. That's a great one that you've got there. Little kissy face. I like it. I like it. You're a cutie, Jamie. I like it. All right, what else do we got going on here? We got Linda hanging out. Says, sorry I missed you guys last night. My body was like, nope, no 10 p.m. stream for you tonight. You're going to bed early. Couldn't keep my eyes open. No worries. I know. So, and this is the thing, guys. I would love it if I could just stream and everyone could show up every single time. That would be great. But what I've noticed, because there have been times, you know, like this summer, I had a week of streams where I went like at 10 p.m. Arizona time. So it was like starting at 1 a.m. on the East Coast. And it was really cool because we were getting UK people earlier in the morning. We were also getting some people that are subscribers that work here in the States, and they work like a graveyard, or they're a truck driver and they're driving in the middle of the night. And it was really cool to just be able to get some new fresh faces in the live chat. And of course, some of you guys can still make those later streams. So I like to try to shake things up and pepper little different times in there, just so everybody that's in the community can have a little bit of that experience if they would like to. But I totally understand, Linda. 10 p.m. is a little bit too late to get going for some folks. And tomorrow night, we're going to do the same thing. But hey, you can always check out the replay, and you can always jump into the comments section on those replays and let me know your pick for each one of those polls that we run through the live chat. And I hope you're doing well. Linda's one of our great channel members. Really appreciate you. We got Stephanie Hinkle, another one of our great channel members. How you doing, Stephanie? So good to see you, of course. And who else do we have here? Gene Whitacombe. How are you doing, Gene? Better than making the polls squishy. Oh yeah, we got some squishy talk here. Yeah, Davey making these polls harder. I make all the polls harder. It's true. It's true. Look at me shouting my own chat out. Can you get any more egomaniacal? I think you can. You can have a hat that says Big Daddy D. So you can do that. Let's see who else do we have here. No one likes a squishy poll. It's true. It's true. Yes. Who else do we got? Some peaches from Linda there. Do the peaches always represent booty? I think they do. Yeah. We got Destiny Faulkner. How are you doing, Destiny? She says, "Hey, talk to," and then she says, "Talk," and then she says, "Y'all, fuck." I'm guessing that's a phone, right? You're probably Des. You're probably at work and you're on your phone, because phones, man, the autocorrect is just brutal on a phone. It is just it is brutal. I swear, I could type the same word like 3 or 4 times, and my phone will change it every single time. Thanks for joining us, Des. Des is one of our Death Squad mods. We also got Dean Renner, another Death Squad mod, a Patreon member, and a YouTube channel member as well. Welcome on in, Dino. We got Paula Fitzhenry. How are you doing, Paula? So good to see you. Who else do we have in here kicking it with us today? Let me just see if I can catch up. If I miss any important chat that you really, really need me to read, then just let me know. Montree says, "I did not like Scream 5 when the Scream is 6 came out. It made 5 make sense." Oh, when Scream 6 came out, it made 5 make sense. Yeah, I think Scream 5 is a little bit better than Scream 6. I think Scream 6 is the weakest in the franchise, but I don't think there's a movie in the franchise that's like absolutely terrible. I'm just not as big of a fan of 5 and 6 as I am the first 4 movies in the franchise. We got Ray in the house, another one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Ray? So good to see you. Hope you're having a good day so far. Who else do we have? I just want to make sure I'm saying hello to everybody. We got Jeremy Caesar in the chat. What's happening, Jeremy? So good to see you. Guys, Jeremy's got a channel where he does deep dives into movies. Really, man, like I listened to some of Jeremy's stuff when I had a big drive ahead of me, and it was really cool. Like he was going through the Thorn trilogy of Halloween movies, and it's like I know all these movies and all this stuff, but sometimes it's just kind of not, even though I've seen all the movies a million times, I got to admit, like putting on Jeremy's video, it was just kind of cool hearing somebody talk about it. So if you like, just listening to long form videos of people discussing these movies, you can find that over on Jeremy's channel. I think he's got a Lords of Salem video coming out here within the next couple days. So if you're a Rob Zombie fan, an added reason to go check out Jeremy's channel. We got Aaron Click in the house. What's happening, Aaron? So good to see you. Hope you are doing well, my brother. We got M from Horror in the house. How are you doing, M? Guys, if you don't follow me on Instagram, or if you don't follow Horror on Instagram, you may have missed. But we dropped a little teaser video because last week, Em and I hopped on a call and we shot a little video. We got, between the two of us putting out some Scream content, and over on Horror, the Scream content has really popped, and Em's seen a really awesome boom on her channel as a result. And we were getting a lot of really cool comments on these videos, and like you guys throwing down some of your theories of what you think is going to happen in Scream 7. So, we thought it would be a cool idea to jump in there and showcase some of these ideas that were interesting, plausible. Some of them are kind of silly and fun, and just to go through those and discuss our thoughts on them. So, just again, trying to share the space with you guys, give you guys a bit of a voice here as well. So keep an eye out for that video. Should be dropping later on this week, probably Friday, I would say, because I'm still in the editing process. Shouldn't take too long, but just to give you guys a heads up to be on the lookout for it. And I think it's going to be popping up on my channel as well as M's channel, because now YouTube lets you collaborate. And M, I hope you're doing well. I hope your lady's birthday was great. And oh my gosh, just in a few hours, it's going to technically be your birthday. So everybody, let's see some party hats in the chat. Let's see some birthday cakes in the chat. Let's see some happy birthday M's in the chat. Let's throw our gal some love here. And yeah, hope you're having a great weekend. Is anybody else jealous that Davey doesn't have to use shampoo and has great hair? And if I do it, I look like a grease ball. That's the power of curly hair. It's just something that you're blessed with if you have curly hair. I read about it years ago. It was like 15 years ago. I was like, oh my gosh, when people have curly hair, if you shampoo your curly hair, it strips all the natural oils that need to be in there. Whereas people with straight hair, their hair gets greasier without shampoo. So people with straight hair need shampoo. People with curly hair, I just rinse, and I don't know, I condition like, honestly guys, a couple times a month maybe I condition. I just let the natural oils do their things. Yeah, I wear a wig. I'm bald as fuck. MC me behind the scenes. Yes, she has. We got Ben Grimm in the house. What's happening, Ben? Yes, it's a giant. It's a 70s style Merkin, Ben. One of our great channel members. Davey Horray. It's true. Yes. Wow, I'm so far behind on the chat. We got Matt Facci from Facci Cinema. How are you doing, bud? So great to see you. One of our great Death Squad mods there. And we got Super Tenor, another one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Super Tenor? Welcome on in. I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone, and then we will get to the task at hand, everybody. We got Hollywood Lido, another one of our great channel members, says Scream 5 and 6 aren't good. Yeah, I don't think they're quite bad, but Radio Silence is a massive step down from Wes Craven. We got David in the house. How are you doing, David? Thank you so much for joining us on your break from work. I really appreciate you guys, jumping in the few minutes that you have, even if you can't hang out the whole time. It's really cool for you to jump on in and say what's up and kick it for a little bit. Galactic/Michaela is here with me too. She says, hi, everyone. How are you doing, Michaela? So great to see you. Miss Galactic. Hope you guys are having a heck of a time. What's up with Methany? What's she up to right now? Does she ever sleep? We got Gina, aka My Chunky Jordy, in the chat. How are you doing, Gina? One of our great channel members. I knew you would be happy about this one, Gina, because it's the perfect time of day for you to join. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was great. I couldn't get M to appear on camera for this one, guys, but maybe the next one. I try not to push too hard. I try to push, but not push too hard. You know what I mean? Let's see here. The big old 36 tomorrow. Hope you're having a great week, Davey. It's been really good so far. Yeah, it's been really good. So had a fun stream last night. Looking forward to this one. Destiny was also blessed with greasy hair. Well, I mean, it's just because you might have straight hair doesn't mean you can't have fun with it, right? Yeah, straight, thin hair. Yeah. But whatever, it looks good. It's a good look, Des. It's a good look. You should be. It's funny. When I was in my 20s, I dated this girl. She had straight hair when she was a little girl. She wanted curly hair, like Shirley Temple, her whole childhood. Then she became once she was I don't know. I think we started dating. She was 18. Her hair started to curl, and then you know what she did? She straightened it. So I was like, that should have been my first signal. And again, I'm going to say this is a generality. I'm like, that should have been my first sign. Oh my gosh, you women, you want it one way and then it gets that way. And you're like, no, I want it the other way. You just can't be happy, can you? No, I'm just joking. But Des, come on. You should be very happy. You're lovely. You're lovely, Des. Don't hate your straight, thin, greasy ass hair. We got Brent Madison in the chat. What's happening, Brent? Great to see you. Hope you are doing well, my guy. We got Kyle Curtis from the Flet from Another World. How are you doing, Kyle Curtis? Thank you so much for joining here. Oh, you are too sweet, Em. You are too sweet. Yeah. Some people you just click with, and some people you click with even more. And I really like I think Em's got a really good chemistry with everybody she collaborates with. So, and that's no different when we hop on a call. It's really great. Actually, guys, it's funny. I'll give you a little behind the scenes info. We didn't really we planned things out generally when we did that stream, but we weren't all right, I talk, you talk, I talk, you talk, and then we end the segment. We just kind of had a conversation, and it would just naturally, there'd be a beat or two of silence. And I'm like, that's perfect. We ended our thoughts. There wasn't some awkward, weird exchange or ending to the end of any of our thoughts. And I was like, wow, we're creating edit breaks naturally without having planned it. It was really cool. And I think it's the first time I've ever collaborated with somebody like this, or with somebody on a video like this, where we're bringing in, the audience's thoughts, and it's not just a live thing, because I do the live thing so much. We got Amanda, aka Trash Box Mandy, in the house. Hope you are doing well, Amanda. Says, hey kids. I hope work is as smooth as can be, Amanda. I know it can be really stressful, but I hope you're doing well so far. The lovely Miss Amanda there. What else do we got going on in here? I think we are all caught up. Adrian James, how are you doing, Adrian? What is crack-a-lackin'? Yeah, no worries, Em. Again, it's I don't want to push anyone. I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. So whatever your own comfort level is very important for sure. We got Keelan from Kill the Credits, guys. I'm going to be over on Chills and Thrills this Saturday with Keelan and Brett Man. We're going to be watching Thanksgiving, so keep an eye out for that. There's a really cool little giveaway too. So check us out on Instagram if you want the chance at, winning a copy of the movie Thanksgiving. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm finally caught up. Oh my gosh. Whew. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, finally caught up. There are 30 people hanging out in the middle of a day on a Wednesday. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good stuff. If you're watching after the fact, you can still hit that like button. It helps push this thing out there. And you can also hit the hype button if you want to go that extra mile as well. What's happening, Justin? How are you doing, man? Not sure if this is your first time here, but welcome on in. You're kicking it with the Death Squad, and we are just about to get to the task at hand. We are going to talk about your guys' favorite horror remakes through the decades, and it's going to be based on the polls that I've put on the community tab. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. We got Eli Cortez in the house, one of our great Death Squad mods and YouTube channel members, and a pillar of the YouTube horror community. Hope you're doing well, Eli. Welcome on in. Okay, let's go ahead and get this rolling, guys. Last night I forgot to put up this banner. So I'm going to put up this banner. We're going to do that, and then we're going to do that. How about that? Audience horror polls. Is that cool? I don't know. Maybe I don't need it. The other one didn't have it. I'll just leave it off. You guys know what we're talking about here. Here we go. Okay, so just like last night, what I'm going to do is the top two of each one of these polls, I'm going to put in a live chat for you guys to do a 50-50 vote on. So I can probably already just close this one right now. 32 votes. What is the best horror remake of the 80s? Now we have 33 votes. I'll let it go for a little bit. This is no surprise to me, guys. John Carpenter's The Thing. I think it's arguably the greatest horror movie of all time. I know some people would say like The Exorcist or The Shining or maybe Psycho or something like that. There's something about The Thing, though, for me. The isolation, the effects, the Ennio Morricone soundtrack, which is a lot different than most of Ennio Morricone's music. So I think it's really cool that he gets to do something a little outside of his comfort zone or outside of his normal repertoire. And man, Kurt Russell, Keith David, there's some other really memorable character actors, a couple other ones that stand out to me, and I can't remember their names right now, but the effects by Rob Bottin are just literally out of this world. The Thing is, I don't know, man. It is the movie that when I was living in Portland, anytime there was a snowstorm, I was like Hateful Eight and then The Thing. I just put on some cold ass wintry movies, and it's a really good movie to watch on a rainy day or just a chill wintry kind of day. So we're coming up on that time of year, especially some of you people that are in the Northeast. I've been seeing little snow flurries and stuff like that. So maybe you guys are kind of getting into that mode where The Thing is a movie that you would want to put on here sometime soon. And the 80s was blessed, 3 really great remakes here. I haven't seen the Phantom of the Opera remake with Robert Englund. It might be great, I'm not sure, but I put it in there because it's got Robert Englund and it's a remake that was from the 80s. But man, The Thing, The Fly, and The Blob are all pretty top notch. Even though this poll is very John Carpenter skewed, that doesn't surprise me, because you guys are a John Carpenter audience. That is one thing I have learned, not just through these polls, but there's been other times where I've posted polls and I'm like, man, the John Carpenter pick on here just obliterated everything else. So really what I should do is maybe we can have a live stream where it's just John Carpenter movies and scores and all that kind of, just pitting John Carpenter against himself. It'll be the John Carpenter live poll stream or whatever we want to call it. Yeah, because The Thing here at 80% of 225 votes, which is quite a bit, folks. I mean, that's probably 150 votes or more. I'm not really good at doing percentage math in my head, but well over half of the votes here. Maybe it's closer to 170 of the votes. A little bit of engagement here, 19 likes, 12 comments. So some of you guys wanted to jump in there and voice your opinions. Usually the comments come from the people that are like, man, The Fly is my favorite. Why is it getting crushed here? But yeah, The Thing, I totally get it. It was also, I bring this up all the time. You guys probably rolling your eyes already because you know it's coming. The Thing was shot in my hometown of Juneau, Alaska. It's all true. Shot in the Juneau ice fields. So, you know, that doesn't really affect the way I feel about it too much, but it's just kind of cool to know. They used to take a helicopter down to Juneau from the filming site for supplies. So they would go and like buy beer and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, wild stuff. Let's see here. Keelan says, just want to put it out there. Not many people have entered the giveaway. So if you want a copy of Thanksgiving, there's a big chance you could win. So go enter. Yeah, it's really simple, guys. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Feel free to put it in there, Keelan. I think it's just that you would have to end up following all of us on Instagram. And then I don't know if it's like tagging a buddy or just dropping a comment. But feel free to let us know, just so everyone here in the chat can know. And then if one of the mods, I guess there's maybe not a good way to post the link. But yeah, no, mods, you don't have to worry about that. But Keelan, if you want to let people know what the stipulation is, there we go. And yeah, bigger chance that you're going to win with not as many people, you know. Ray says, shoot me. I didn't really like the thing. How many times have you seen it, Ray? Sometimes I think like movies, at least for me, you know, sometimes it takes a few watches. Sometimes I love a movie at first, and then by the third time I watch it, I'm like, man, this isn't really that good. Like 28 Days Later, I really liked it in the theater. And then I like the third time watching it, I was like, man, this is boring and derivative. To me, it was. And then like Donnie Darko, I was like, wow, Donnie Darko's so amazing. And then like the third or fourth time I watched it, I was like, I hate the way this movie is treating time travel. Like this is like killing my buzz here. And this movie, although it's got some really great needle drops and some funny moments and some great performances, ultimately I was like, Donnie Darko, not a fan. I know maybe that's a hot take, but what can you do? What can you do? And M has not seen the thing. Wow. Interesting. M. It's a really good one. I mean, I think it's one of like, Halloween's my favorite John Carpenter movie, but I think The Thing is technically a better movie. Bronson Wright Wolf jumping on in. What's happening, Bronson? He says, are we allowed to request horror movie reviews if we sign up for the highest tier on your channel? Yeah, you can request a review for sure, Bronson. Yeah, I don't do a lot of pre-recorded reviews because they don't get a lot of views on the channel. Honestly, like it seems like when you guys come to the Davey Deathray channel, you know, you're coming here for the deep dive, more long form kind of thought piece pre-recorded content, or maybe the shorts are what's bringing you here to the channel, or of course the live streams, because I do that quite a bit. So yeah, Bronson, we could do something like that. I could do a pre-recorded review of a movie of your choosing and give you a shout out, of course. I could even, if you want to, you know, if you have some thoughts that you want me to share during the review, sorry, I swear I can talk, during the review, then we can do that as well. Or if you would prefer, we could work the review into a live stream. So yeah, if you sign up on that highest tier, you can request a review for sure. Dean says, I'm looking forward to watching The Thing again this winter. Yes. Just saw it for the first time maybe a week or two ago. Wow, meh. Interesting. I thought you would like it, Ray, because of the gore. Because I think the gore effects are pretty special in The Thing, for sure. Let's see here. That's what I'm going to do, Dean. I've never seen it. You've never seen The Thing, Brooke. I'm surprised, Brooke. Yeah, it is a wild movie, man. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, it's a creature feature for sure, but it's also, I would say, like body horror. Definitely, like that kind of thing for sure. Richard Dysart is great in it too. Oh, in The Thing. That's where we have a road. There's a big road here in Phoenix called Dysart. Always makes me think of that. Snowing in Flagstaff today, says Trashbox Mandy. So just about 2.5 hours north of where we're at, they've got some snow. Got some snow in the Buffalo area. There you go. Not my type of movie. I've pretended I've watched it to not look like a loser, but I'll be real, I've not. What makes it not your type of movie? Just a bunch of dudes. Bunch of dudes hanging out. Who the hell wants to watch that crap? My poll only shows The Thing or The Fly. Yes, Gina, because the poll that we're displaying on the screen is from the community tab on the channel. And then the whole purpose of this live stream is just to pick between the top 2. So you guys in the live chat get to pick between the top 2 entries from those polls that have been up for quite some time, a couple weeks at least, I believe. The England Phantom of the Opera remake is rough, and Robert is a friend, so I hate to be that blunt, but yeah, that story's never resonated with me. Just in general, Phantom of the Opera doesn't really interest me very much, so I've just like kind of stayed away from it just because it seems, I don't know, just too old-timey and not very interesting. Let's see here. Tell him I say hi. Yes, Lido, get on that. Get on that. M, don't make me do my imitation of you again on a live stream. I did it on the members only. Because I noticed that the way your cadence goes, and it's almost like a little melody that you kind of sing-songy when you introduce yourself on your pre-recorded videos, kind of reminds me of the musical cue from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The do-do-do-do-do. There's a little bit of that in your kind of sing-songy nature. I really dig it. Blizzard double feature with The Thing and The Shining. That's a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, The Thing and The Shining, good double feature. I always think, like, when I brought up the Hateful Eight earlier, like when I think of the Hateful Eight, I think of The Shining or The Thing, because they use some of that unused Ennio Morricone score from The Thing in Hateful Eight. Ennio Morricone did the whole entire score for Hateful Eight, but also Hateful Eight reminds me of Evil Dead. So I could do like a triple feature, like put Evil Dead in the middle or something like that. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Hateful Eight, but I really love that movie. One of my favorite Tarantino movies for sure. Let's see here. The Blob would have been my pick. Well, you can still vote. These polls that I'm displaying here, I screen grabbed them on my phone, but the polls are still open. YouTube, as far as I know, there's not a way to close the poll. There's only a way to delete the poll. So the polls are still open on the community tab, so you can still go in there and voice your thoughts there. Let's see here. Ooh, Gina hates The Fly. Oh my goodness. I really dig The Fly. It's got, like I said last night, a little bit of that Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's like a tragedy. It's like an old school kind of, I know Hunchback isn't a Greek story, but it's got that Greek tragedy. I don't know. I got a soft spot for those kind of stories where the villain sort of becomes a villain, even though maybe they started out not altruistic, but they started out with intentions of, reaching some sort of level of greatness and then became a monster through that quest. Frankenstein's got a little bit of that vibe too, Let's see what else we got here. I only voted for The Thing because I didn't want Davey to crash out like he did over The Bubblegum. I wouldn't crash out. I love both of these movies. I will crash out over The Bubblegum. I can't believe you guys, when we did the live audience ranking of Trick or Treat candy, and all of the Bubblegum choices got put in the bottom tier. What the hell did Bubblegum do to you people? Don't make me crash out again, Stephanie. But what did Bubblegum show me on the doll where Bubblegum touched you? Because I really don't understand it. Yeah, I don't know about that. Ooh, got good needle drops though. I love me some Tears for Fears. Yes. That happens to me. Some of the movies I really liked earlier this year, I've researched lately and grown way more sour on. And that's why I think it's important with any kind of art to just experience it more than once. Of course, like, it takes time. So I'm not saying you have to go and watch every movie you didn't like more than once. But I think that sometimes by the third time you listen to a record or watch a movie, you're going to have a different view or a different feeling, or maybe you recognize something that you missed before. That could be in a positive way or it could be in a negative way. And I think especially with movies, you watch it once and then go back again having known how everything shakes out, and it's like a whole new experience. Not every single movie is like that, but I do think there are movies like, like Keeper. I saw Keeper twice. It was a totally different experience the second time. Strange Darling, Strange Darling was so good and engaging. One of the best movies of 2024. The first watch was awesome. And then, the way the story is told out of order, it's chapters out of order. And so once you know how everything goes, like, I watched it like a couple days after, maybe a day or two after watching it the first time. And I was like, man, it was so much fun going back and watching it, like knowing how it all plays out and looking at the performances with a totally different angle. But, that's also Ben, it sounds like you're sort of, you know, we're sort of like each other in that way. Like that's the analytical side, or the side that, you know, just likes to do those deep dives. I was big when I was in school. I was a big literature guy, like a big English, you know, English was like my focus and my favorite subject, and, you know, and just literature in general. And I think of film as, you know, the apex of literature. You know, we started out, you know, doing cave paintings thousands of years ago. And then we went to telling stories around a fire. And then, or maybe it was telling stories around a fire, cave paintings, but that was the first like visual storytelling medium. And then people put out magazines and books and everything like that. And then here we are, you know, stage plays. And then here we are, we've got amazing technology to tell these stories visually, whether it's animation or live action. And I just, that's why I love film so much. Yeah. The rabbit from Donnie Darko. That's a good visual. I do think there's some really cool stuff going on in there. And again, like really great, like Patrick Swayze's really awesome. The performances are really good. I just started to see a lot of like gaping holes in the plot. Yeah. Can't believe you don't like Donnie Darko. I liked it at first. It tricked me. Kind of related, but what do you think of the 2006 Black Christmas remake? I'm writing a video on it as we speak. I really like that one. I'm interested to watch your video, Jeremy, because I know that the director had a totally different vision, and essentially the Weinsteins, you know, strong-armed him, either him or I think they even went in with another person and shot some stuff that ended up being in the trailer that wasn't in the movie. And I think that they sort of forced certain story beats to be in that movie that weren't originally supposed to be there. So that poor director who, you know, got Bob Clark's blessing and was a huge fan of the original film and definitely wanted to stretch the lore. But I think some of the weirder decisions in that movie were the Weinstein's decisions and not him. I can't remember the name of the director right now off the top of my head, but I think that even with the weird stuff in the Black Christmas remake, I think it is a very enjoyable experience. I love the atmosphere, the sepia-ish tone, the warm glow of the colorful big bulbed Christmas lights, the performances. There's so much to love with the 2006 Black Christmas. I think it's got one of the best opening shots, the house and that song, Everybody's Waiting for the Man with the Bag. Beautiful. And what a funny song, because it's a song about Christmas or about Santa, but also Billy and Agnes use a bag when they kill people. So it's got this great double meaning. Yeah, I really like the 06 Black Christmas quite a bit. And I'm relatively new. I watched it for the first time just 2 years ago. Watched it twice within about a week and covered it here on the channel in the very early days of the channel. But really good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I hear you, Gina. I think you've said that here before. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it is heartbreaking, but they didn't hurt any real animals, so we're okay. You know, it's not like Cannibal Holocaust or anything like that. We got My Chunky Jordy. Miss Gina has been a member for 15 months, everybody. Time does fly. Yeah, Gina's been a channel member since the very beginning. That's amazing, Gina. Thank you so very much. At Trashbox, Mandy's never seen the thing. Okay, so Mandy, we got some work to do. Never seen The Fly. Hey, if you like body horror and you like David Cronenberg, can't go wrong. I really like the prequel to The Thing, save for the questionable CGI. Hopefully we get a version of that movie where they strip out the CGI. I'm sure you know this, Ben, but they did practical effects first, and the studio made them go in and cover the practical effects with the questionable CGI, which is wild. And I kind of hate The Thing prequel because it's like a beat for beat remake, but technically it takes place before, and technically they set up the scene to look exactly like the place that they find in the 1982 The Thing. So yeah, it's a prequel, but it's like it follows the same beats. The only difference is there's a female lead. That's the only difference that I could see. Yes, Bronson, you can reach out to me through yeah, I mean, you can reach out to me through Instagram or through Facebook Messenger, or email davey.deathray@gmail.com. It's really easy to remember. Dude sitting around in the cold, it just looks boring to me. It's really good. It's definitely not boring because it keeps you guessing the whole time. Okay, let's see here. 50th anniversary of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest today. All right, a total classic. Yeah. What is it? Milos Forman is the director. Of course, starring Jack Nicholson. We've got Brad Dourif is in that movie as well. It's a really good movie. I'm still butthurt that Cuckoo's Nest beat Jaws, or that it won Best Picture, the Best Picture Oscar, because I think Jaws is a better movie by far. But Cuckoo's Nest is a total friggin' classic. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this poll here in just a sec. We got a brim full of Asha jumping in, says just popping in, but I have to go. All I'll say is The Blob is such an underrated remake. Also, Davey, I sent you a DM on Insta and a link to the UK horror Mum and Dad. Please let me know what you think. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you, Asha. Yeah, I saw your message. I was in the middle of taking care of some stuff after the stream yesterday and was getting a little sleepy. So I knew I had to wake up for this thing. And yeah, I'll check that out here shortly. Let's see here. Okay, I am going to close out this poll and we'll go ahead and jump on over to the next item on the list. So there we go. How many votes do we have here? YouTube's taking a while to catch up. Where did that go? Where did it go, YouTube? There we go. Best horror remake of the 1980s, 41 votes. Thank you so much to everybody who voted. Hopefully you also hit the like button. The Thing is winning with 78% of 41 votes. It beats Out the Fly with just 22%. So overwhelmingly, you guys vote that The Thing is the best remake of the 1980s. And maybe that'll make Ray give it another shot here, perhaps next year. And maybe Horror will finally give it a go. Why not, right? I mean, you know, the Descent is like the female version of The Thing, right? Like a bunch of chicks, creature feature. I think it's great. It doesn't bug me that it's, you know, but and so The Thing shouldn't, you know, just because it's a bunch of dudes sitting around, you got to give it a go. Come on. Let's go ahead and bring up our next one here. This is 1990s. I was pretty surprised here with this one. Just 204 votes, so a smaller sample size here. I was very surprised that Bram Stoker's Dracula got 56%. Not that it's a bad movie. I think it's got a lot of, like, I love the stylized, you know, telling of the Dracula story. I think there's a couple performances that are pretty weak in Dracula. You know, obviously Keanu Reeves is not at the top of his game. And even at the top of his game, I don't know if he would be fitting for this kind of role, especially attempting that British accent. Pretty rough go there. But I think Winona Ryder's really bad too. Hot take, I just don't think she's very good in general. Sometimes I can deal with it a little bit more depending on the movie, but even in like Stranger Things, she's a little, you know, and Beetlejuice, not very good, at least to me. And I see so much love for the Night of the Living Dead remake, just in the community in general and in the live chat. So I thought that one would win out here. Let's see what you guys say here in the live that we have right now. I have an inkling that maybe Night of the Living Dead will do better here live than it did in the community poll. So what is the best horror remake of the 90s? Hey, remember the 90s? Let's see here. Is it going to be Night of the Living Dead, directed by Tom Savini, or Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Mr. Francis Ford Coppola, or Coppola, whatever you want to, however you want to say it. Nicolas Cage's uncle. Let's see here. Erica jumping in. What's happening, Erica? Did everyone hit that like button? If not, you better get to it. Thank you so much for jumping in, Erica. Yeah, I didn't know if you'd be able to, you know, because you're in the middle of work. Hopefully everything went well if you showed up late. I don't know. Maybe I missed that. Maybe I did. Let's see here. I don't care if Donnie Darko makes perfect sense or not. I love it anyway. Fair enough. It doesn't have to make sense for you to love it. That's for sure. Not me threatening for likes and realizing I hadn't hit the like button yet. Well, there you go. I could never fire you, Erica. You could try to fire yourself. I will never fire you. There you go. Jamie says Bram Stoker's Dracula is gorgeous and has great performances aside from Keanu, but it's so beautiful. I don't care if he sucks. It is really beautiful. I love the rear projection, the old school techniques. It's really cool because, you know, you're essentially, yeah, he's trying to do a version that is closer to the novel, I think, than the Bela Lugosi. But then there's also that love of old Hollywood. You know, I love the carriage scene, you know, or is it a train that Harker is on? I can't remember if it's on the train, but like, you know, the rear projection of the mountains with the sunset, and then the overlay, like the opaque overlay of like Dracula's eyes, just really cool, like old school techniques. When Dracula, or I guess it's Vlad at that point, at the beginning of the movie, during those battle scenes, they're, you know, that's totally like done on a stage with a rear projection, almost like a flat color in the rear projection. Just really beautiful visuals, I would say. And yeah, Keanu, and I don't think Winona's really that great in this movie either, but that's just a small sample of the performances, because Gary Oldman is out of this world great in Dracula. And then you've got Anthony Hopkins as Van Helsing. So is Cary Elwes in this movie? I think Cary Elwes is in this movie too. Yeah, I've only seen Bram Stoker's Dracula a few times, but I've got a copy of it on Blu-ray. I think Eli hooked me up with a copy on Blu-ray. So I think the last time I saw it was maybe like, when did you send that, Eli? A year and a half ago, something like that. Sometime around then. We got Shot by Shot, hanging out. What's happening, bud? I'll DM Davey to fire you. Never. Wait a minute. What happened here? Did M say that she does not like The Descent? I'm gonna bring the whole thing to a screeching halt. I love The Descent, M. Oh my gosh, I gotta talk to you about this offline, because I'm not gonna bring the stream to a halt, but I'm very curious to know the whys, or the you know, the reason why you would say such a. Are you just trying to hurt me because I hurt you on Donnie Darko? Is that what's happening? Are you just trying to hurt me, M? Because it's working. You've hurt me in a profound way. No, have a great rest of your day, Asha. Hope you have a good one, man. Let's see here. When is he not disobedient? I think he just likes to get under you ladies, or your ladies' skin there. Not literally. Actually picked Body Snatchers, says Matt. What's happening, Matt? Welcome on into the chat, bud. Yeah, I have not seen Body Snatchers, but I saw some stuff in the comments section. I don't know if that was you, Matt, or somebody else. So many comments, I can't remember every single one, or who wrote every single one. But I heard really great things about that Body Snatchers. That's one of the only versions of that story I haven't seen, because it seems like they remake it in almost every decade, you know, almost. Let's see what else we got going on here. I like Dracula 92, but Reeves' performance not that good in my opinion. Yeah, I saw all of these in the theater, says Jamie. Not surprised at all. No work for me. I was fired because of you, JK. Jeez, that would be a wild way. That would be a crazy story to have, to be like, I got fired because I couldn't pull myself away from the, you know, the sexual magneticism of Davey Deathray. Let's just call it what it is, right? I mean, that is what it is. So what's happening, Blu-ray Addict? Hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining us. Let's see here. The score in Dracula is wonderful too. Yeah, it is just a movie, even though it's, you know, 92. It does feel like it comes from a different time. Really great accomplishment from Francis Ford Coppola. It's no surprise that when Kenneth Branagh did Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which is also, you know, literally at the bottom and percentage-wise at the bottom of this poll, there's no reason why they tried to replicate that as well as they could. I think Branagh is a good actor. I don't know, he just isn't quite the director that Ford Coppola is. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Gary Oldman is a legend. Yeah. Oh yeah, really good in this movie. And it's just seemingly ageless. He was like the original, like before Paul Rudd and even Mark Ruffalo kind of had that ageless quality for a little bit. Gary Oldman was like the original ageless guy. I mean, now you can totally see it, but there was a good like 25 years where it's like, I can't tell if this guy's aged. It was kind of wild, you know? Keanu's attempt on our accent is bloody terrible, but I absolutely love Gary as Dracula. His eyes are hypnotic, and I got to see it free working at my local cinema when I was 16, as I was emancipated. There you go. Oh yeah, because you guys, I think it's a little more strict on the rating stuff out there in the UK, if I remember correctly. At least now, I've heard now it's a little more strict than it is out here in the US. Never seen Night of the Living Dead. Well, if you like the original, Justin, I think you would dig the remake. It's got a little bit of that TV movie kind of quality to it. I don't think the production value is like as high as it could have been, but Savini does a really good job. Tony Todd is great in the role of Ben. I like the effects and everything. There's a lot that I really enjoy about the Night of the Living Dead remake. I don't think it's nearly as good as the original, but there's a lot to love there for sure. Let's see what else we got going on. In fact, I'm actually curious to check the poll and see where we're at. Oh wow, Bram Stoker's Dracula is beating Night of the Living Dead here live. Okay, that is very interesting to me. I felt like, or I had the feeling that Night of the Living Dead would win this one, and it's almost like it's a little bit closer, you know, but however, Dracula is there at almost 60%, so it's almost about the same chasm between the two. Let's see here. What else do we got going on? Holy cow, Super Tenor dropping a $2 and says awkward Thanksgiving. Get on it, y'all. With a $2 super chat. And you know, Super Tenor, we're still at 0 for 5 on the super chat goal because it's 5 super chats of $4.99 or more. So sorry I button hooked you on that one, but we could still get it. And again, guys, super chat goal, it's just a little it's just a bonus thing. It's not required. And for me to assume that you guys would want to tune in on a live stream from my phone on Thanksgiving, kind of silly. So I just wanted to throw this one out there. I'll be going live the next few days. So I of course, you know, appreciate the $2 Super Tenor. But yeah, as far as the goal goes, it's just for fun. Yeah, it's I'll still give you guys all the goods here. Not all the goods, but you know what I mean. Not that Keanu is a superb actor, but I heard he was overworked during the shooting of Dracula and that affected his performance. I've heard that too. He came right off of one movie to another. It's a difficult thing pulling off a British accent as an American. If you haven't spent time over there, I think it's difficult. And that was one of the things with the new Frankenstein movie that really threw me for a loop was Oscar Isaac's accent. I think one thing, like when Americans hear an American doing a British accent, we're more forgiving. We don't know all the little differences between the different neighborhoods of, you know, the London area even. So if it's like Liverpool, Manchester, and then you've got like a northern accent, you've got like so many accents. And I've just named 3, and there's probably like 12 more in that area, right? So an American hearing an American doing a British accent, if that British accent goes in and out of these different neighborhoods and dialects, and it just sounds like generically British to us, we're going to be a little more forgiving. I think it's tougher to do something that's like very particular and then have it resonate with those people. It's like doing a New York accent. There's a Brooklyn accent. There's a Staten Island accent. There's more of that like Jersey side kind of accent. So it's a little bit tougher. Yeah. And I don't know if Keanu really would have been able to pull it off that well, no matter what. But yeah, you know, Francis Ford Coppola wanted him for the role. So that's on him. Yeah, no worries. Here's the cool thing is the mods can be relatively half-ass in here, because the big problem we had in the chat for a while, for whatever reason, this person must have been banned from YouTube. Like their IP must have been blocked because they were coming into not just this channel but other channels and causing big problems with a bunch of dummy accounts, you know, appearing to be other content creators and causing problems. So we're fortunate here. You guys are really, really cool. 10 out of 10 would smash Gary as Dracula. Well, he's got to be. If Dracula isn't sexy, the story doesn't work. So that's good that works for you. Yeah. You should have heard Davey's English accent. Oh, what was I? Bastard. I don't know. My British. Yeah. It's all over the place. But I do like. My name is M, aka her. That's my little M accent there for you guys. But yeah, you can't elongate the vowels. A lot of Americans want to elongate the vowels when they do a British accent, but when you actually listen to a Brit talk, the vowels are not elongated. And then, you know, you could do like, what's the Liverpool? That's my Liverpool accent. That's all I need to say is Liverpool, but you don't say the L. Liverpool. You just assume that the L is kind of there at the end of the word. It's just sort of there. Body Snatchers is good. It's the only version of that story I've ever seen. Never seen the 50s, 70s, or early 2000s version. I love the 50s version. We were talked about it a little bit last night because I love Kevin McCarthy as a performer. Shout out to UHF, RJ Fletcher, one of the greatest villains of all time. I love him in the 50s version. He's got a little cameo at the end of the 70s version with Donald Sutherland. And then, yeah, I've seen, what's it called? It was just called The Invasion, I think. Nicole Kidman, and was it Daniel Craig that was in that one in the 2000s? I think it was. Let's get it on. Oh, scandalous. Yes. What's happening? Ryan Underwood, one of our great channel members. Look at how ripped this guy is. He's an award-winning bodybuilder. Look at that bod. Whew. I wouldn't even know what to do with it. Let's see here. Hope you're doing well, Ryan. Thank you so much for jumping in, man. Our accents change like every 30 miles or something. Yeah. There's a little bit of that in certain areas here in the States, but it's such a huge country land-wise. And then I've got this like blank West Coast accent. So it's like I grew up in Alaska, but people in Oregon, Washington, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Idaho, probably the Dakotas, Montana, it's just this kind of accent. So, but then you go to the East Coast and it's a totally different mix. And even in the Midwest, if you were like if you're in the Midwest, you're like, I got to go get my glasses and I'm going to go make a salad. I got to talk to my mom, you know, stuff like that. Super Tenor dropping the $5 says, this isn't teal. Lol, this is green. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of there. Yeah, it's somewhere in there. It's like a sea foam green or something like that. Appreciate the $5 Super Tenor. And the Super Chat goal is officially kicked off here. 1 out of 5 there. I'm going to go ahead and close out this poll here on Night of the Living Dead and Bram Stoker's Dracula. 25 votes. Dracula wins 56% to 44%. And just, you know, to wrap up on my thoughts here, gosh, this is a really tight one. I think I'm going to give the edge to Bram Stoker's Dracula as well because of the stylistic choices it makes, the chances it takes, the fact that we've got 2 rock star performers in Gary Oldman and Anthony Hopkins here duking it out. Tom Waits as Renfield. Right? I'm not wrong in that, right? It's Tom Waits. Pretty awesome. And I love that they really dove into, you know, that opening scene of Bram Stoker's Dracula. I really like that they give Vlad a reason. You know, they're like, hey, he was this like, well, I don't want to use the word devout because he was like a crazy murdering, you know, genocidal maniac, but he was doing it in the name of in the name of Christianity. And then he's like, but I still can't have what I want. Nah, I'm going to become totally evil. I'm going to become the antithesis of Jesus, essentially, which is, I think that's like the, you know, the kind of the point of Dracula is to sort of be he's like the anti-Jesus to a degree. And yeah, I just think the Bram Stoker's Dracula is gorgeous. It takes some really big swings. And overall, it's got a higher budget and it's got a better production value than Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead. So there you go. You'd probably think I'm Scottish with my Northeast accent. Well, you know, like the Twisted Locker guys, they're from Wales, and I thought they were from Ireland because the Welsh accent, at least from where they're at in Wales, sounds more like Irish than it does just straight up like, you know, English. And I don't know, maybe that's just because I'm not from there that I have a tougher time. I mean, I'm sure that's what it is, but I don't even, for you folks that, you know, for you and for Gina and M, does that Welsh accent, that like Southern Welsh accent, does that have a little bit of an Irish kind of sound to you guys? Or is it just so much easier to be like, no, it's not even close? I don't know. Let's see here. I was watching Beyond Belief last night, and there was a story set in Liverpool. The accents were so bad. Let's see here. Would you believe I was born and raised in Wolverhampton? Wolverhampton. But you probably say it totally different than that. Yeah, M, you've got a little bit of a kind of a bit of a posh voice going on, or accent, I would say. Okay, let's see here. 100% M, yeah. Well, you know, my name is Simon, and I like to do drawings. Yeah. If Troll got kicked from YouTube, I'm gonna have a party. I think so. I think Jordan Decker got that troll booted from YouTube, Jamie, because he reached out to them directly, and I've not seen or heard from that person and all their various accounts in a very, very long time. Okay, let's go ahead and get this next one up here really quick. Let's just have fun. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. Little 13-year-old Davey Deathray, quarterback of the Juneau Youth Football League Broncos. I was the first Bronco that wore number 10 and played quarterback and made the All-Stars. No shade towards Bo Nix. He's a good kid. I did it first, so you're treading on my territory. Just make sure you share the space there, Bo. Yeah. Look at that tough face. Like you do not want to mess with me. I was the only quarterback to throw a touchdown pass that year. There you go. There's my moment of glory. And let's go ahead and move on to the 2000s. Wow, guys. I think this one is the most surprising poll to me. Full disclosure, I've not ever seen the original or remake of The Hills Have Eyes. I've heard from so many people that the remake of The Hills Have Eyes is way better than the original. So I'm not surprised to see it doing well here. But with the way that most of you guys, when we're on a live stream, the way people talk about the Dawn of the Dead remake, and the way in general that I hear people talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 03, Marcus Nispel's TCM, I thought those would be the two vying for the top spot. Now TCM is still in there vying for the top spot, but I think I would vote Dawn of the Dead here. I think Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead from 04 is one of the best remakes of all time. And I think one of the things that makes it one of the best remakes of all time is that the original is an absolute masterpiece. And when this movie was announced, there were a lot of horror fans whose buttholes just puckered right up because they're like, it was like when the Evil Dead remake got announced, and ultimately the 2013 version of Evil Dead that we got wasn't really a remake, right? So there was a little bit of a sigh of relief, but that's how it was announced. That's how it was marketed. And with Dawn of the Dead 04, I remember I went to the site darkhorizons.com. Gareth Franklin, I think, is the guy that runs it. Really great movie news site. I haven't been to it in a while, but maybe I should go back now that I'm, jumping on horror movie news and all that stuff. But man, Dawn of the Dead 04 surprised the hell out of me. At first it was going to be PG-13. Then we got word that there was going to be a zombie baby, and it was like, oh no, what's going on here? And then they're like, no, it's going to be R. And then they released that opening scene. Like, I can't remember if it was USA or it was some network that like released the opening scene ahead of time. And that sort of like put everyone's concerns on the shelf. Like, oh wow, what a great opening scene here, just to kind of whet the appetite and set the stage for this epic remake. And yeah, it's got fast zombies, it's definitely modernized, all that kind of stuff. But Zack Snyder and James Gunn, who wrote the script, they understand the DNA of the story. And then they also understood how to make it appealing to a modern audience. And I think Dawn of the Dead, for my money, is the best one on here. But I still need to see The Hills Have Eyes. And I like all the three that I've seen here on the list. I like quite a bit. I think I would prefer even Friday the 13th remake to the TCM remake, just because I like Jason more than I like Leatherface. But let's go ahead and put this up in the poll for The Hills Have Eyes versus TCM and see what you folks in the live audience are saying here. What is the best horror remake of the oddies? The naughty oddies. Is it the Texas Chainsaw, right? They put the and they made chainsaw one word. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre or The Hills Have Eyes, right? Is it the? It is the. Okay, so they both have the. Okay, here we go. Here we go, guys. Got that poll in the chat. Let me know your thoughts there on that one. I think there was a couple people who jumped in here. I want to make sure that we say hello to them. Although I'm really... Okay, there we go. Maybe I just missed one person. It was about a year ago or so. Yeah. I don't know if that's the same person, but a person messaged me the same username as someone behind the scenes about something not this channel related, but maybe. Let me know on Insta. I'd be curious to know about that, and then we can talk about The Descent, because you got to explain yourself. The remake of HAE is actually insane. It got me into horror as a kid. HAE. What is that? The remake of HAE. I don't know. You have to let me know what that is. I can tell they're Welsh, but if you met a proper Welsh person, you wouldn't understand a word. Gotcha. Oh, because they speak in Gaelic. Yeah. All these remakes rule. There you go. Let's not talk about Voldemort anymore. We got Jeff from John Doe Juggalo. What's happening, Jeff? So great to see ya. The Dawn remake is great. Dawn 04 is my favorite zombie movie. Let's see here. Hills Have Eyes and TCM are so top tier for remakes. Well, I'm interested to see which one wins out here. We have 16 votes so far, and TCM is killing it as of now. I love all of these remakes, to be honest. Yeah, Jessica Biel, enough said. Jessica Biel in like a wet tank top. Whoa, fuck. We recently watched this one on Discord, and it had been a while since I had seen it. Some really good performances there. I think Leatherface to me was like really slow and lumbering and just maybe a little too big. Not that Gunnar Hansen wasn't big, but Gunnar Hansen wasn't like a mountain of a man. There's even though he is bigger than most of the actors there's a little bit of athleticism to Leatherface in the original one versus just how slow and I'll use the word again, lumbering Leatherface is in the remake. So that sort of takes it down a little bit of a notch for me, but I do like the look. I think Marcus Nispel does a really good job with using the camera and using editing to make his movies feel brutal. There's a feeling of brutality from the filmmaking side, and he uses that in the Friday the 13th remake from 2009 as well. There's just it just feels tougher. I don't know. I think what it is when you have these shots, Rob Zombie does it a little bit in his Halloween movies too. You kind of move the camera with the action and you edit at the right point, and it feels like you can just feel the camera movement and you feel the weight, so it's like sound design, editing, camera movement. It's all of these beautiful things of visual storytelling coming together and giving you, the audience, or at least I'll speak for myself, giving myself as an audience member the feeling of the physicality and the brutality and the violence. Really good stuff. But yeah, Jessica Biel. Nothing wrong with that. There we go. Rick M, welcome on in. Rick M, you were kicking it with the Death Squad. Rick says the Hills Have Eyes remake is decent, but it follows the original film so closely that I felt like I had already watched it. Is that a problem for you guys? I think, I think that's one of those things with remakes sometimes is it's like carve your own path. Like make sure that the skeleton is there, that you've got like the tenets of that franchise are there, but carve your own path, tell a little bit of a new story, modernize it. That's a word that I use a lot. Like do something to make it modern. I'll have to watch both of those. I'll have to watch the original and the remake and see how I feel about that. Davey Hill's remake is really good. Check it out when you get the chance. Yeah, I'll do the first one and then the second one there. Let's see here. Yeah, Lito, you're not wrong about Jessica Biel. Like oh my God, scorching, just fucking scorching. Dawn of the Dead got my vote. Seeing in the theaters was an awesome experience, says Linda. Definitely a remake that holds up against the OG. Yeah, I think they, another phrase I like to use lately is justify its own existence. I think all of these movies do that. I think you can argue that Friday the 13th and TCM, you could argue that they're really, really, maybe not really close, but that they, especially TCM is pretty damn close. And maybe the Hills Have Eyes, according to Rick, it is. You guys will have to let me know in the chat. But yeah, Linda, I was living in Bozeman, Montana. I was in a band at that time. And when Dawn of the Dead 04 came out, I saw it twice in 24 hours. I went opening night and the audience was like cheering. There were like cheer breaks in that movie. It was crazy. It was really, really awesome. It was a different time. And then I went back the next day. I was so skeptical of that movie, like leading up to it. But then, you know, once they put out that opening scene, I was like, okay. Because Zack Snyder, I don't know if he had done a movie yet at that point. I think he was like an award-winning commercial and music video director. He had done like some Jeep commercials. He had done some music videos. And I think Dawn of the Dead was his first feature-length film. I could be wrong, but I think it was. And one of the first bigger movies that James Gunn had written after, you know, he had started with Trauma, of course. Oh yeah, you better fill me in. No, I know what you mean. On the Troll and on the Descent. I'm gonna try to keep it from being dirty here. Oh, HHE. Okay, I thought. Okay, all right. There we go. I think it's a tie, but going. I think it's a tie, but going on for Hills Have Eyes. Okay, that's what you're voting for. Gotcha. Yeah, A Nightmare on Elm Street remake 2010 minus 1 million. It doesn't even get a spot here. It doesn't even get a spot in the sequel or remake for each franchise. It doesn't even get a spot. That one is tough. The guy who played Leatherface is a jackalope tool in real life. I don't even Andrew Bierzninsky or something like that. I think I know his name, but I don't really know who he is. Was he a wrestler or something like that? He's got the build of a giant, you know, like I said, mountain of a man. I wish these people would stop calling. How dare they make me work during a live stream? Yeah, those bastards. Ooh, the cheek of them. That's a phrase I've never heard. That must be a Briticism. A Briticism. A Briticism. I don't know why I'm like going into like slight Cockney there. Being saucy breaks the tension. I'm all for it. Yes, we got to keep it saucy in here. Hopefully I never make anyone feel comfortable, but or uncomfortable, but I am that kind of person where I will say things that are quote unquote inappropriate. My humor automatically goes that way. I've had to calm down as I get older. Well, the cool thing, M, is not around me. You don't have to. You can just crank that knob right back up. Crank that knob right back up. I didn't even mean it that way. It's like I don't even have to try to be a total degenerate. Let's get moist and squishy, y'all. How about it? Okay, let's jump in and see how the poll is doing here. Real quick, because I've been on this one, since we don't have as much on the agenda, I've been kind of talking off topic with you guys a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I would go Dawn of the Dead here. That would be my favorite. I think I would go Friday the 13th and then TCM, and I'm just leaving The Hills Have Eyes out because I've not yet seen it. So I'll have to check it out, and then I'll be able to talk about it a little bit more after that. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. People might get the wrong idea though. I'm like, oh no, you actually repulse me. Well, here's what I've noticed is that if a woman talks to a guy, the guy is like, she likes me. And I'm like, dude, no. Like, I'm talking to you, guy. You think I'm interested because I'm talking to you? Sometimes women just talk to you because it's the polite thing to do, is to not act like someone doesn't exist. But guys can be totally clueless like that. I mean, when I was living in Portland, which has like more strip clubs per capita than like any city, I think, some statistic like that, I seriously knew guys that were like, I think that stripper likes me. And I'm like, dude, you just gave her money to talk to you. You think that she likes you? Okay. I'm gonna go. If Davey isn't being saucy, he's simping over Julia Garner. She's a really good actress. Yeah, she's cute. She's a different kind of cute. Yeah, she's a cutie pie. The horror stream live. What's happening in the horror stream live? I love the font there. I love that EC Comics Vault of Horror Tales from the Crypt font you've got going. Not only the font, you've got that purple going that they use as well. I dig that. He says, or he or she says, that poll almost too close to call. Are you talking about me? Am I the weirdo? I guess I am the weirdo. It's true. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. Yep. Let's see here. Gosh, Emma's just being so rude to Mr. Flat. Let's go ahead and close out this poll, guys. 22 votes, 23 maybe. We'll see what we got. You guys are adorable. I love you all in the chat. 23 votes. What is the best horror remake of the 2000s? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre wins with 61% versus the 39% for The Hills Have Eyes. How about that? And guys, we've got a bonus remake poll because this one doesn't really fit within the decades, but I threw this one out to you guys. The best Dark Castle entertainment remake. So Dark Castle, they started making original films, but they made these 3 remakes. They're all based on William Castle films from the, I believe, 50s and 60s. And so if you don't know, William Castle was I believe he was a producer. I don't know, maybe he directed them as well, but he was the kind of guy that was like, let's do the feel around kind of theater. Like let's do House on Haunted Hill or whatever, and let's have a skeleton like fly at the audience on a zip line. Like let's have like things that like grab your legs from underneath the chairs. Like let's do like smell-o-vision and like all this kind of crazy stuff like that. So it was a different immersive theatrical experience, and Dark Castle Entertainment ended up remaking 3 of those original William Castle films. So, you know, they did House on a Haunted Hill from '99, which I actually quite like and still enjoy to this day, 13 Ghosts from 2001, and House of Wax, which I actually just recently watched for the very first time. And the House of Wax remake, I don't know that I've seen the original House of Wax, but the House of Wax remake, I'm sure it has elements from that original House of Wax, but it also has a whole bunch of, I think, tourist trap, big time tourist trap vibes in that House of Wax 2005 remake. So let's put it up, the poll, House of Wax versus 13 Ghosts. Let's see what you guys think. This one will be a little bit shorter. I can already see the chat flying because I know we have a lot of House of Wax fans here. The ladies love House of Wax. Let's see here. What is the best Dark Castle? Oh my gosh. I swear I can type, guys. Entertainment remake. Okay, here we go. We're going to do House on Haunted Hill. 13 Ghosts. 13 Ghosts, that's one with Matthew Lillard, right? Is Tony Shalhoub in that one as well? It's been a while. I think I saw that one in the theater. I don't know if I've seen it since then. I've definitely seen House on Haunted Hill a few times. I really dig it. I saw what they did. Slaughtered Lamb did like best and worst of 99, and I think Darren put House on Haunted Hill in his like worst. And I was like, oh no, like I mean, whatever. It's just an opinion on movies. Like it's not a big deal at all. But I was like, man, I think that movie's like one of the better remakes. I quite enjoy it a bit. Some really disturbing imagery, especially when I saw it as a kid, as a teenager. It really, fucked with me. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Yes, thank you, Gina, for reminding everyone to hit that like button, especially if you're voting in these polls. Make sure you hit that like button. House of Wax. Ugh. Jamie loves House of Wax. There you go. Let's see what else we got going on here. The only movie out of those 3 that I like is the House of Wax remake. Well, there you go. Easy vote for you. And it's nice to know that that one is in the poll there for you. Let's see what else we got. F me, this one is difficult, says Ray. I think House of Wax is going to win this one. I mean, not only did it win the 3-way poll here, 243 votes, so a pretty good sample size. Yeah, I think House of Wax is going to win. Maybe because of the sexy factor a little bit. Let's see here. Castle was a producer and director. Okay, yeah. He also did The Tingler. Oh, he did so many. Yeah, these were just the 3 that they ended up remaking with Dark Castle before jumping into like their own like original movies and all that. But yeah, he did a whole bunch. I mean, wasn't the movie Matinee kind of like a, an homage to him, or sort of like a loose like telling of his story? Oh yeah, I don't know anything about this guy. I guess ignorance is bliss, because I just don't even I don't even know if it's what kind of bad it is that you guys are talking about here. House on Haunted Hill is really good. It follows the original film closely enough to be identified as a remake, but also has its own identity. Well, yeah, and I think Jeffrey Rush as the gosh, I can't remember the name of the character, but he looks just like Vincent Price. It's a really cool, really great casting. And this was before Jeffrey Rush like really popped off as a massive star. I think he had done Shine. Maybe he did Shine right before, or maybe it was right after. But this was like pre Jeffrey Rush as a bona fide star kind of thing. You got Taye Diggs here, Chris Kattan. You've got Famke Janssen is here as well. Is Ali Larder in this one, or is it somebody that looks like her? No, it's Bridget Wilson, I think, from Billy Madison and Mortal Kombat. Yeah. I think it's a really solid, let's put it up, the poll. I can't help myself, Lido. I just can't help myself. Yes, House of Wax with Paris Hilton, Jared Padalecki, and others. Who's the one guy that all the chicks really like that is Chad Michael Murray? Yeah, I just like totally like that guy's 15 minutes of fame. Like I missed all of that because I just wasn't watching those movies at that time. Let's see what else we're saying. Alicia Cuthbert was great in House of Wax, and she's also great in the TV show 24 and The Girl Next Door. Yeah, she is pretty good here. Outside of Chad Michael Murray, I like the House of Wax remake. He does a good job there, though, right? Sometimes, is it because you don't like the character, Ashton? Because I think there's some confusion. If you don't like the character, it might just be because the performance is that good and the character is supposed to be a turnoff, right? So I think that's actually a positive for a movie when you're like, God, I hated that character, and it's like, did you hate because it was like so well written that you felt something? Because then that's positive. That's like a reason to like the movie and a reason to like the performance. I just watched it recently. I know we had it on Discord, but after that, because I was working, I couldn't catch the whole thing when you guys watched it on Discord. By the way, our Discord's totally free and we watch movies over there. It's great. I watched it just a couple weeks ago. I thought everyone was really good in it. I know he's got that whole like hot bad boy kind of vibe going, but I'm like, well, he did a good job. I love all of these, but sorry, Paris Hilton, House of Boing. There is nothing more satisfying than Ray's boing emoji on Discord. That is, in and of itself, reason enough to join the Discord. Totally free, really awesome. We're getting close to 100 members over there. It's pretty rad. House of Wax is fun. I agree. 13 Ghosts is terrible. I can't even remember. I know I saw it in Seattle in the movie theater, but I can't really remember anything other than there's like a clear glass box in the middle of some room. And yeah, Tony Shalhoub and Matthew Lillard. I think Matthew Lillard plays like a nerd in this one, something like that. I never found Paris attractive at all. She looks like a pony, in my opinion. Now, Alicia Cuthbert. Yeah, I think Alicia is much more beautiful. Paris has this angular kind of model look. I've never really been that was never really like my kind of thing. I don't think that Paris is unattractive. But yeah, I would take a curvier, more classically beautiful looking woman. I would say I like I like the curves. And you got to have a booty. Like Paris has got no butt. Like if you got to have a booty. Like, come on. Like regardless of what your disposition is or your gender or anything, like butts are important, people. Very important. Butsoverboobs.com. Let's see what else we got going on here. Paris Hilton is much better than I was expecting. She is fine in this movie. Yeah, I don't think her performance is bad, which is like kind of reassuring, and she was at the time, she probably got a lot of butts in the seats, so fair enough for her. We got Don Keat joining us. What's happening, Don? So great to see you. Hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining us here. I rewatched House of Wax last night. There you go. It's really good. Yeah. I just watched it for the first time a couple weeks ago. I was quite surprised. I prefer it to Tourist Trap, the original Tourist Trap. I think that's a movie that could be remade, although I guess they already kind of did it with House of Wax. Alicia Cuthbert is so hot too. Yeah. Oh, she's Canadian. Well, there you go. That's like half of the actors, huh? Ali Larder's the final girl in House on Haunted Hill. Thank you so much. Bronson Wright Wolf just became a YouTube channel member. Thank you so much, Bronson. Yes, reach out to me through a DM and we'll get a little something going for you. I'm going to check this poll and then we'll get going on the next couple. And then that way we're not taking too much of your guys' day. I do want to let you know at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be on Killjoy Jake's channel. If one of the mods could share that link, that would be great. I'm not sure if Erica is still in here, but if you could, that would be awesome. Oh, why did I do all 3 in here? I didn't mean to do all 3, but I guess it doesn't matter. I meant to just do 13 Ghosts and House of Wax, but I was sitting there chit-chatting to you guys, and I just got so excited. I'm like JoJo, the idiot circus boy, with my new pet. Okay, let's go ahead and close that poll. We got 20 votes. House of Wax is winning this one with 45% of the votes. 13 Ghosts comes in second place with 35%. And the lowly House on Haunted Hill, just 20%. So pretty much an exact replication of what we've got here in the poll that is, just to my left, your right. And yeah, thank you again so much, Bronson, for becoming a channel member there. Let's see what else we got going on here. The best reason to join the Discord is because I joined today, says M. So I'm joking. I'm just bragging my support. Well, thank you so much. I did have to send M an invite, and I was going to call you out on this stream, M, because you hadn't joined. I was like, do I smell? Why don't you want to join my Discord? So I'm happy to hear that you joined. It's pretty fun over there. Dude, curves are important. Like, I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with being skinny. I don't want anyone to feel bad, okay? I don't know. I like tone is good. I like curves. I do. A woman should look womanly, right? It's the caveman part of my brain that says this person could bear children, even whether or not I'm interested in that. It's just the caveman jelly in my brain is like, this person could handle having a baby. And that's, I guess, what curves kind of say to that part of our inner caveman, No ass girls rise up, says Ray. Oh, come on. I'm sure you got a booty. You could always do squats. Butts over boobs any day. There you go. They're really fun, aren't they? They're so much fun. Let's do a poll on butts or boobs. We could do that. House of Wax, says Dawn. Jared Padalecki, the only reason I watched it. Ooh. Well, but he's like kind of frozen in place for a good portion of that movie, huh? He is so babyface in that movie. Like, the difference between Jared Padalecki in House of Wax versus Friday the 13th 09, which is just 4 years difference. He like really grew up in those 4 years. He looks totally different. You could tell he got, a little bit jacked. I'm guessing that's Supernatural. Maybe as Supernatural went on, he got a little more, started pumping that iron a little bit. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Erica. If you guys aren't familiar with Jake's horror channel, make sure to go follow that page. Here's the link. You guys, especially if you're Terrifier fans, if you're Scream fans, there's a lot of that content over there. Jake is just really great at what he does. He has an awesome voice. He's a really sweet guy. He's got an awesome community over there. And I would love to see the two communities. I know there's intermingling going on already. I mean, Erica, I think, found her way over here because Jake was on Late Night with the Davey a little over a year ago. I'm pretty sure that's what brought Erica over here, just to kind of check out what was going on. I would love to see the two communities intermingle and see some of you guys over there representing the Death Squad tonight. And then hopefully it would be really cool to see some of his people join the next live stream over here on the Davey Deathray channel. Yeah, Jake's great, man. There you go. 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, I didn't know you could smell it through the screen, but it really is, something to think about. I appreciate you calling me out on that. Yeah, that is a come to Jesus moment for me, that I should shower. Maybe I do need to wash my hair. I do like them juicy. I'm not saying that boobs aren't cool. I love them and respect them. But if they're a little on the small side, they're going to look great forever. And usually if they're a little on the small side, that means she's got a bow tie. And, there's all sorts of shapes and sizes and different attributes that I think can be defined as attractive, at least for me. I'm a guy, so I'm certainly not too picky. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Yes. You need something to hold on to. If they've got both, that's amazing. That is a diamond in the rough, and you got to literally hold on to that woman. Supernatural, watched and mature. Yeah, I never watched that show, but everybody tells me to watch it. I prefer my ladies with teeth and a working phone. Yeah, not methany. Yeah. Some of us are petite. So yes, exactly, Des. And it's just like some people just have, there's like just the body type that you are, and there's not really much, and there's not, like I said, there's nothing wrong with being slender. And I also think you can be slender and still have some curves. Yeah. It's definitely not an attack on anyone. Des, you're absolutely lovely. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I have to watch my language because you're spoken for, but you're so lovely. Come on. Let's see what else we got here. I'm skinny and small busted, but I have a big butt. I feel you. Always skinny. Oh my goodness. Literally every trait listed has been the opposite of what I have. Oh my gosh, Des, come on. Short, small chested, the tiniest bit of a butt. I like that it's burr. Tiniest bit of a burr. I'm going to start calling them that now. Ooh, dude, look at her burr. Ooh, her burr gives me the burrs. Yeah, Des, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Any guy would be lucky to share time with you, Des. I'll say that. You have great taste and you're quite lovely. So come on. Let's put it in the poll. Let's make a poll. Is Des lovely or not? No, I'm just joking. We won't do that. Okay, let me close. I already closed out the other poll, right? So we're going to be moving on. Look at this dork. Look at this guy. Who the heck does this guy think he is? Some sort of tough 13-year-old bitch. Okay, guys. Best horror remake of the 2010s. Wow. Not even close. And I'm going to get ahead of it right now because I've already gotten myself in trouble talking about curves versus skinny and butts over boobs and all this kind of stuff and straight hair and wavy hair and whatever. I'm going to get ahead of it here. I don't consider Evil Dead 2013 a remake, but it was marketed that way. Absolutely. And a lot of people think of it as a remake. So this isn't just about like, when I put up these polls and everything, it's not just like what Davey says goes kind of model. It's like, well, this is just sort of like, referred to as a remake, even though it is absolutely a sequel. There's plenty of evidence that proves that Evil Dead 2013 is a sequel and not a remake, or at least that it's an episodic sequel within the Evil Dead franchise. But for the purposes of this poll and the way that most people talk about this movie, it is a remake. So we've got Let Me In, and remember, Let the Right One In was in our live stream yesterday for best horror movie of the 2000s. So Let Me In is here. Fright Night with Anton Yelchin, rest in peace, gone way too fucking soon. And Colin Farrell is, or Farrell, of course. I want to call him Farrell. It just sounds cooler, Colin Farrell. And we've got what's his face, McLovin. What's that guy's name? Christopher Mintz-Plasse is in here as well. And the female actress, I've not seen the Fright Night remake, so I'm trying to remember who she is because I've seen her in a whole bunch of other stuff when I was researching this movie. I just can't remember her name. You guys let me know in the chat. And the Suspiria remake is here as well, which I haven't seen. And I know I'm probably breaking some hearts. I'm kind of breaking my own heart with the Suspiria remake because I love the look. I'm not a big Radiohead fan, but what I've heard from the Tom York score sounds really good and is way better than any Radiohead I've ever heard. I not only am I not a big Radiohead fan, other than their like rock and roll music from the 90s, I straight up actively dislike them. It has nothing to do with this stream, but I'm just going to say it because fuck them. But the Suspiria remake also kind of does its own little thing. It really takes some chances. I've watched video essays on it, so I know how the movie shakes out. I've just not yet seen it for myself, but I got to sit down for the 2 hours and fucking like 40 minutes or whatever it is and actually watch this thing. But Evil Dead 2013 is a triumph of a movie. I mean, Fede Alvarez breaking out with his very first feature-length film is in the Evil Dead franchise, handpicked by Sam Raimi, Rob Tappert, and Bruce Campbell. And pretty much handpicked because he was the only one that came to the table with a story that didn't include Ash. I don't know if all of you guys know that, but that's the reason why they were like, well, we want to give this guy the nod because he's not trying to do exactly what we've already done. And so here we are, 228 votes. Evil Dead is crushing it here with 72%. I don't even know. This isn't even really worth. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do for the poll. Since second place is a three-way tie, we're going to have you guys vote between which one of these second place three-way tie entries is the winner. So let's just do that. What is the second best horror remake of the 2010s? And let's see what you guys say. What are the list? What's the list here? Let Me In. Let Me In, Fright Night, and Suspiria. I'm excited to see what you guys say on this one. Very curious to see which one wins when it's just put up between these three. So let's see what you guys got. What I lack in bigness, I make up for in Nevermind, says Des. Vinny's jumping in. What's happening, Vinny? How are you doing? Says Let Me In is pretty good. Welcome on in. DJ Plays Favorites is hanging out with us as well. Welcome on in. Hope you are doing well, my guy. I'm 5'7", so skinny looks even skinnier on me, which is vile. Shorter girls are always prettier. Well, I don't know. I mean, 5'7" that's pretty tall. You're a tall gal. Tall gal, M. Let's see what you guys are saying here. My vote is for Let Me In. It's so good, and if it's inferior to the original, it's only by a tiny margin. Yeah, I would say a lot of people feel pretty closely on those. I saw Evil Dead with my dad in theaters. R.I.P. homie. You would love the Terrifier movies. I'm so sorry to hear that. I didn't know that, Ray. I'm sorry that you've lost your dad. What a good memory though, to be able to have that memory of seeing that movie. Especially, sounds like he was a gore hound as well. The only remake I've seen is Fright Night out of these, so I guess you would vote for that one, right? Well, let's see what else we got here. Out of these four, Evil Dead is my favorite, says Blu-ray Addict. Me too. Me too. I'm just a twat 9 times out of 10. Oh, you guys are talking about Lido. I'm a shocking idiot most times. Just full of comedy and sass. Yes, decent, really decent guy, but I do enjoy being a shocking idiot sometimes. Hey, same. Amen. Aaron says, I didn't like the Suspiria remake. I like slow burns, but that was just plain boring. It is really long. I wonder how I would feel about it with the length, because I'm a bit of a runtime bitch. I voted Fright Night. My heart belongs to Anton always, plus David Tennant. Oh yeah, David Tennant's in there as well. He plays the Roddy McDowell of the piece. Wasn't a fan of the Suspiria remake. Fright Night remake and Let Me In remake were both good. There you go. Evil Dead for the win. Oh, of course. Yes. Haven't seen any of these. Oh, of the 3 that are up in the poll. Let's see. I'm curious to know who's winning so far. Fright Night is ahead right now. Let Me In is kind of like right there, just 15 votes. But we have about 30 people in the chat, so jump on in and vote your opinion there in the poll. The tree scene in the OG was always questionable. Oh, and Evil Dead. Well, they do something kind of similar in the 2013 version as well. Yeah, that tree scene is pretty tough, pretty brutal. I mean, the Evil Dead has always been about pushing boundaries and making the audience feel uncomfortable, for sure. Every single one, even the funnier ones, push the boundaries. Couldn't stand the Fright Night remake, says Lido, but the original has such a special place in my heart for so many reasons that I don't think I gave the remake a fair shake. But fuck it anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's Rear Window, Fright Night. It's Rear Window with a vampire. So it's like even the original Fright Night is sort of a remake anyways, like Disturbia is another Rear Window remake as well. I don't like Fright Night remake. Nothing beats the OG Fright Night. Yeah, the OG is, man, one of those that it just, a lot of people are like Fright Night or Lost Boys, the favorite vampire movie of all time. Yes, yeah, Amanda's tall twats, tall twats unite. Yes. Let's see what else we got going on here. I'm 5'6.5". I feel ya. No ass, tall girls rise. I have PTSD from Suspiria 2018. Ben, what was it about it? Was it did the movie bore you so much you have PTSD, or is there something else going on? The effects look really good in that one. Literally 5 feet tall. Just a little tiny gal. Just a little tiny gal. 5'7". My daughter is 5'8". I'm your average size white girl. That's tall. 5'7" is tall. That's above average. Yes. Yes, it sure is. Yes, Dez is a tiny one. Yeah. Shorties unite. I expected Dez to be petite overall. I you know, when we met, I expected her to be short-ish. Right? 5'4" average size white girl. I thought you said 5'7" there for a sec. Or maybe you're just talking about your daughters. Okay, anyways, we're all over the place here with our chat. I love it. Holy cow, Let Me In and Fright Night are now tied. They each have 40% of the vote, 20 votes so far. We need somebody to break this tie. It's still tied with a couple more votes rolling in. So I'm going to give it another little beat here. 5 foot nothing, says Michaela Burns. Welcome on in, Michaela. I know you were kicking it on with Ray, but it's so great to see you joining in on your own here. Yeah, Disturbia is good. It is damn good. Yeah. Dawn of the Dead is a great vampire movie. Well, it's a zombie movie, but it is great. It is great. It's a great remake. Yeah. Okay, Davey, just because you're over 6 foot doesn't mean you can pick on us for being shorties. I never picked on you. And I'm just barely 6 foot, you know? So, yeah, I'm just like right there at 6 foot. Definitely not tall by any means. Just slightly above average, but not tall. Most of the, like, when I hang out with like Cecil and Vin and like Robert the Wolfman, I'm looking up the whole time. Those guys are all, you know, taller than me easily. I think even maybe Fuego's about my height. He might be a little bit taller though. But yeah. I'm, you know, definitely not a shorty. It is the wig that makes me. It is the coif wig that makes me 6 feet. I'm really just 5'10", and then I get a couple extra inches with the coif. There it is. Ooh, chilling with Ray. Was eating Chinese food and watching. I'm jealous. What kind of Chinese food? Orange chicken? What do you got? Sweet and sour pork? What you got? I recently learned that little people height tops at 4'10", so some of y'all just barely pass. And I guess if you're 4'10" or shorter, does that mean you can get like a disability check? That's amazing. That would be incredible. Let's see here. What do we got? Okay, I'm going to end the poll right there because we finally have one that's, you know, gone out in front. So second best horror remake of the 2010s, Fright Night wins with 41% of 22 votes. Let Me In second place with 36%, and Suspiria with 23%. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on over to, oh, this is another little fun one here. This isn't we're all done with the remake side of it, but I had to throw this one in here because we didn't have as many as the other two streams are going to have. I kind of joked about the John Carpenter kind of thing. Look at this, guys. Best John Carpenter, Kurt Russell team up that is not The Thing, because I knew if I put The Thing in there, The Thing would win. So I want to know, look at that. 48% Big Trouble in Little China, 46% Escape from New York, 203 votes. So a decent sample size here and very, very close. I'm curious to know what the live audience would say. I'm curious to know what the live audience would say. What is the best John Carpenter, Kurt Russell team up? And then we're going to put it up to you guys. Escape from New York or Big Trouble in Little China. And let's see what you guys say. So friggin' close here. A bunch of different dishes. Chicken bows, General Tao, and more. Oh yeah. Davey isn't even 6 feet. He's actually 5'5". Platform boots, Dez. Platform boots. I can't believe you said that. He's been making me lie since we met. I want my bribe money back. Yeah, I met up, like, you know, I've met up with Dez and Braden when she was visiting this summer. The very first thing she did, literally sized me up. Literally, like, got up out of her picnic table seat to say hi and give a hug and everything. But first, she had to literally size me up and be like, "How tall is this motherfucker right here?" Yes. I wear tall shoes. Yeah. Little bit. Aren't we all? Aren't we all, Mrs. I don't show myself on camera calling me a con man? Come on. Let's go. We know you're AI, M. We know you're AI. Saving up for that Gattaca surgery. Davey wears lifters like Tom Cruise. And not only that, I wear lifters. I also wear a youth size medium shirt because it makes my, torso look really big and impressive. Yep, she is AI. It's true. She's admitting it. My son is 6'4". I don't get it since I'm short and hubby isn't tall. How tall is your husband? He looks, I don't know. Maybe it's recessive genes. Do you have any tall uncles or aunts on either side of the family? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to check in here on we're getting close to the 2-hour mark, and I don't want to keep you guys any longer than that. So we're going to wrap things up here shortly. And I really do appreciate all you guys kicking it with us. I think last night we were maybe there was like a little more focus, at least for me, because we got a lot to get through. I love these streams though, where we just kind of like talk a bunch of shit, and the people watching the replay are going to be like, I need to get in on one of these live chats because we are all over the place. It's totally bonkers. 18 votes. What is the best John Carpenter / Kurt Russell team up? Escape from New York is winning. I'm actually going to close that right now. Because I want to do another poll here. Okay, there we go. Boom. This is inspired by M, aka Horror. Which is better, butts or boobs? It's up to you, the live audience, to decide. Only you can decide. Hubby's about 5'11". Okay. Swedish ancestors. All right. They're as tall as the trees out there. I was very stony baloney last night. Stream was so much fun. Hell yeah. My mom is Siri and my dad is Chat GPT. Oh my goodness. And then your uncle is Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey. The wig Donald Pleasance had was funny. Isaac Hayes was the man. Yeah, Escape from New York's really good. You had okay. I want to get back to that. Chester said I like Escape from New York because it was the second movie they did together. The score was great, the cast was great, as well as the cinematography by Dean Cundey. Can't go wrong there. Perfect. You're the Duke. You're the Duke. Yeah, Escape from New York is really, really great. I can't. We are going to do a John Carpenter stream where you guys are going to vote on the best John Carpenter horror, non-horror. Score, all that kind of stuff. We can do horror score, non-horror score, because I know Halloween's going to win horror. But yeah, man, what a great team he had together. Dean Cundey shooting those movies, teaming up with Kurt Russell. They were always great together. I think John gets really good performances from his actors, like James Woods in Vampires. That's another really great performance there. A very kind of, Kurt Russell-y sort of swagger to that character, even though the two are very, different looking actors and very different actors overall. But yeah, man, the John Carpenter being able to control the music and the visuals, like audio and visual control as a director, is pretty profound. And not many people have that. I don't even know if anyone else does that, composes music and directs the actors and works with the cinematographer and all that. So John Carpenter is a unique kind of guy, for sure. Boobs all day. I'm liking the polls, yes. I'm just up and down all over the polls. Yes. Yeah, that kind of polls. Trash box Mandy, yes. Oh, Amanda. Boobs, your butt. Where's the both button? Yeah, no both button. You got to pick. It's a 50-50. Is that your final answer? Boobs make a movie a 10 out of 10 film on my rating. Ass only makes the rating go up by 1. Fair enough. For me, it's more about the tactile. It's more about the feel. No both? How about some variety, David? Wow. Oh my goodness. No variety. Look at Erica. Yikes. Coming at me. You guys are coming at me. David, we need a both. Davey, we need a both. Now I'm calling myself David. Oh my gosh. Both is deemed greedy. It's true. I just want to know between the two. It's too easy to say both. Of course, both is the choice, right? Too easy. So if I put both there, I'm giving you guys an out. No out. Butts or boobs. Come on. No, we'd all pick both. We would all, like, I would pick both. I don't know. I mean, even, you know, you can dig guy butt, right? You could dig guy boob. You must choose one. Yes, anti-penis people. There we go. Another category chick, Stephanie. Butts, because there's a lot of good stuff hidden between those southern hills. Oh, Aaron, I love it. Like Sophie's choice, the decision. This is even more difficult. Wow, Clint Eastwood does the music? I had no idea. I had no idea he composed the music for his films. That's really cool. Okay, so, oh man, we might lose those two guys within the next 5 years. I mean, hopefully not, but that, you know, we need somebody, a younger cat to come in that directs and does music. We need that, a voice like that, a younger voice like that. And this is how you're branded for life, is buttsarboobs.com. Butts are only good for stuff I'm not into. You don't like to grab a butt? Come on. Ass and titties, ass and titties. The stream is going to get demonetized for just the things that I'm saying here. Anti-penis people with no bums, no boobs, and are tall. Rise up. That makes me think of Cricket from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The rise up, gonna get higher and higher. It's so good. You gotta make it sexy. Yes, moobs. Eastwood doesn't compose the music for all his films, but he did for many. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, and Carpenter doesn't do every single one, but he does, yeah, most of them, for sure. I'm glad Lido is bringing us back to ground level, keeping it clean. Yeah, there's no canceling me. I'll cancel myself. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's my aim to get him. Yeah, I know him. It's a diabolical, idea you've got there. I'm trying to bring Davey down to my canceled level. No, I'm already there. Let's see what you guys are saying here in the poll, because I need to give my voice a little break before jumping on with Jake here in a couple hours and take care of some real life stuff. So we are going to say goodbye here shortly. And there you go. 20 votes and boobs wins 55% to 45%. Pretty close. Pretty close. I get it. Boobs are unique to the ladies, and butts everyone has. So I guess that, I get that boobs would maybe be more popular between the two here. I'm in the minority. I don't mind. I'm a punk rock fan that loves horror movies. So as far as my tastes go, I'm usually in the minority for sure. I'm a pumpkin pie fan, and apple pie won that poll last week, again in that minority as far as taste goes. So there you go. There you go. Have a great rest of your day, Lido. Thank you so much for kicking it with us, bud. Yeah, we are going to close it out over here. No worries, Keelan. No worries. Davey single-handedly canceling every content creator who watched him right now. Yeah, a little bit. Everybody gets canceled hanging out over here. Yeah, pumpkin over apple, of course. It's a no freaking brainer. It's a no-brainer. Okay, guys, you've been amazing. Holy cow, we've maintained a really solid audience this whole time. I hope you guys had a great time going through all of these polls from the community tab. You can still vote for these over on that community tab, and I dropped some new polls within the last few days. So we're going to cover some sequel talk from the bigger franchises. What is the best sequel in that franchise? We're going to cover that tomorrow night. That's going to be 10 p.m. Eastern. So another little bit of a late night stream there on that one. And then I even have some other, I think we're going to do 2 parts of the sequel talk, because there are so many franchises out there with sequels that there's no way we're going to get through all of them in a single stream, especially with how off topic I get and we can all get. So tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to talk some of those sequels. And then, man, there is a Terrifier poll on the page. I'm blown away. Over 1,000 votes on what is the best Terrifier movie. That's over half of the subscribers voting on that one. It's the most voted on poll. And it tells me that you guys want Terrifier content from me. So if you do, jump into the comments here on this stream, or jump into the comments on that poll over on the community tab, and let me know what kind of Terrifier content you'd like, because I don't want to just tread the same ground everyone else has. Let me know if there's some sort of question you have, something you've noticed in those Terrifier movies, or something that you want me to hop on here and have a chat about. I mean, I can certainly dive in and tell you all why I think Terrifier 3 is the best movie of the bunch and all that. We can go kind of basic and do something like that. But maybe there's something a little bit deeper that we could get into. So let me know and we can have a chat over there. Join the Discord if you haven't already. It's totally free. It's a great way to keep in touch with everyone in between streams and videos, build that community culture, you know, watch movies together, all that kind of fun stuff. It's really awesome. You guys have been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much to everyone that dropped a super chat, and all the channel members and all the Patreon members and all the Death Squad mods that we've got here. But of course, for anyone that dipped in, maybe this is your first time, or maybe it's the first time in a while, or maybe you're watching after the fact, thank you so much. Just showing up, hitting that like button, maybe sharing the video or sharing the channel if you're digging what you see here. That is awesome. I mean, really, there's a whole bunch of things you can do that don't cost you anything but a couple seconds, and I really do appreciate that from you guys. Shout out to Gina from, or AKA My Chunky Jordy, 15 months of channel membership. Shout out to Bronson Wright Wolf for becoming a YouTube channel member. Thank you so much. And we got Super Tenor dropping a $2 and dropping a $5 super chat as well. Thank you so very much. I'm going to be back later on tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, over on Killjoy Jake. Keep an eye out on, I actually posted about it here, so you can find the link there. You can also, or I'll post on Instagram as well, so no excuses to miss that one. Check it out. It's going to be a blast. We're going to be talking about our Scream 7 theories, wants, wishes, all that kind of stuff. So jump into the comments. Let us know your theories, wants, and wishes, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to have a great talk over there, and we're going to mix these two awesome communities, the Killjoy Jake, or the Killjoy crew, and the Death Squad. So it'll be an absolute blast. You guys have been amazing. Thank you once again. Oh, and how do I usually end this? Something like, until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care. Butts over boots.